If there's one thing I've learned in my life, it's that a man is always going to come back, no matter what. No matter what you do, no matter what you say. So act as crazy as you want, because he'll be back.
Rule number 1, you are not going to talk about all the past situations of people that have treated you like crap. You are not going to talk about that boyfriend who was talking to another woman when you were together. You are not going to talk about that guy who made you pay for everything. You're not going to talk about the bad experiences, because in his mind, he's going to say, oh, and she accepted that. Oh, and she stayed with him. You're not going to talk about that. What you are going to talk about is the things that you expect and different stories or examples or couples that you look up to. So for instance, me and my partner, when we first started dating, we had that conversation of what the other person expects. And I brought up one of my aunts and how every single weekend, when she first started dating her boyfriend, now husband, they've been together for probably over 30 years. Every single weekend, he would go to a farmer's market, buy her a bouquet of flowers, and bring them over to her. When they lived together, when they were married, when they first started dating, everything. He still does it to this day. And I said to him, that's what I expect. I expect a man to do things that make me smile, do things that I do not expect, do all those kind gestures. And Colin, since we've started dating, he has always gotten me flowers. When he sees that my bouquet of flowers is dying, he buys me a new one without me asking him. Stop talking about the bad and start talking about what you expect, because then you are putting that bar out there for that man. And if he looks at you and's like, whoa, you're high maintenance, or oh my gosh, that's a lot to ask, kick him to the curb. He's not the one for you, because in the entire time, if you date that guy, you will constantly be disappointed. So put your expectations up here, stick to them, and communicate them, because I promise you, you will find someone like Colin who will literally kiss the ground you walk on. So stop dating these losers.
What's good, guys? It's your boy Josten J coming to you with another video. Let's cook, boys. Let's cook. All right. This is why men should never ignore a woman's past in modern dating. So I want to start this video out by reading a message that I got on Instagram from a loyal subscriber. Hey, Josten, I appreciate all your insights, man. You have helped me learn a lot after getting divorced and losing $250,000 to my ex. Thank you for helping the men. It's never too late to learn, and you've been instrumental in that process. So the reason why I'm reading that out loud is because a lot of this stems from men ignoring a woman's past and her present tendencies that just reveal her past. You're so infatuated with this woman. You want to give her a good experience. You want to be the man of her dreams. You want to see her walking down the aisle. There's nothing wrong with that, but you need to make sure that she deserves this good treatment from you. If she doesn't, you don't proceed to give it to her. You're only playing yourself out in the end. Men say they don't like women with high body counts and that come from toxic relationships, but they tend to end up with these women following protocol. Well, what they think is protocol. No, you've been conditioned to think this way. We're reversing that. So I got a couple of talking points. Let's get straight into it. Number 1, you can ask her directly about her past, but in a lot of instances, a woman's habits tell you everything. Don't ignore them. See, she can lie with her words, but not with her actions. A lot of women can tell you that they're willing to do this and they're willing to do that, but their actions show you otherwise once you start actually getting into a relationship with them. See, the vetting process is there to protect you and actually protect her, but more so protect you. Because if you don't mesh well, you don't want to waste her time, and she can actually try to waste your time, and that's protecting you, but you're protecting yourself from just games, nonsense. See, in the first 3 to 6 months, guys tend to make women their girlfriends, their wives, all of this stuff, fiancés. And a woman can put on a mask. Remember, guys, they wear multiple faces and they treat men differently. Isn't it crazy how they can treat their boss, who is a man, with respect, come home and disrespect their husband? One face, another face. They know how to be pleasant with the guy that they're sexually attracted to, but they know how to give you a hard time when they're not really sure about you. They're on the fence. One face, different face. In all scenarios, they're going to wear multiple faces. When they're under a social light, they're going to act a different way so they don't get seen as somebody who's less than. You understand how that works? They want to be put in the best light possible. So when you rush into a relationship, 3 months, 6 months with a woman, you start to see things changing up. She was pleasant in the beginning. Things were going great. All of a sudden, she's hitting a switch and you're like, wait, what's going on? That's why in the vetting process, it's good to wait a year, 2 years before you even try to initiate anything serious, like tying your life together. And it needs to even go on past that when it comes to that type of stuff, tying finances, tying your life together. A lot of men are waking up and saying, no more. We're not doing serious committed relationships. You heard the message, $250,000. Are there still women out here that are of quality? I would say yes, but you're going to have to dig through a lot of dirt to find the gold. So as long as you know that, you could participate in playing the game. But if you think that you're just going to be able to walk in and change a woman's life without her earning it, that's not going to go in your favor. That's a part of you ignoring her past because you're not doing your due diligence and doing your background check and making sure things are in order, meeting the family, making sure that checks out. What they think about the situation, if they're going to be honest with you about her, the type of people that she keeps around her. Remember, the company that they keep tells a lot about them. If they're high maintenance and materialistic. And this is the thing, women are coming out and saying all women are high maintenance and materialistic to a certain degree. That's not true. That is not true. It's really not true. A woman can like to look good. A woman can like nice things, but understand there are certain ways to get them. Not pressuring and daydreaming about things that she doesn't even know or has never even experienced, that she sees on TV and Instagram. No. That's delusion. A lot of women work hard for their stuff. A lot of women know how to go out and get it. A lot of women are not even that high maintenance. They like simple things. Her habits can also tell you a lot about her. If she likes to go out clubbing. Oh, I like to dance. We could put some music on in the living room right now and dance together. I'm a foodie. I like to eat. Yeah, we can go around and try mom and pop places. I like to look good. I like to feel good. Okay, well, that's great for you. There's ways to feel good and look good doing it yourself, not always paying somebody else to do it for you. There's not a problem with women wanting to feel good and look good and take care of themselves. But the thing is, her habits will show you that you're going to waste a lot of money. Her habits will show you that she does things and she gets into situations that are not conducive for a relationship. Her habits show you that she doesn't take relationships seriously. Number 2, if she says that she hasn't cooked and cleaned for any of her prior situations, it's not a good look. See, women are going to paint it as this too nowadays. I'm not doing wife activities as a girlfriend. It's completely nonsensical. It's nonsense because this is a position. In order to get this position, you must prove that you're qualified for said position. Now, being a girlfriend is like before you get the raise. So you have to hold this job down and show that you have proper etiquette and that you come to work early and that you do your job to the best of your abilities and you outdo the competition. Then you move and get promoted to the stage of wife. Women have it backwards, thinking that you have to chase them down to pay a bill. You have to chase them down to get cooperation from them. You have to chase them down for them to work with you. That's not how things go. That's you literally ignoring her past because guess what? Guys have dealt with her and they've liked that setup because they're able to exercise this on stupid delusional dudes who are so infatuated with them. They get to you, they think that you're going to operate the same as them. This is why when you walk away from a woman, she's like, what are you doing? Act like them. Act like them. When things backfire on them, why isn't he acting like them? I know he's different from them, but I can have my way with them. I don't like what's going on here. And that's when they throw a fit. But what you need to understand is when she's championing the fact that she doesn't cook and she doesn't clean and she's not that type of woman. I don't have food in my fridge like that. I don't even know how to make an egg. I like to DoorDash and Uber Eats. I'm a foodie. I like to eat here. A part of a relationship, you're going to want to come home to a nice cooked meal. A lot of guys settled for her BS and her box was just enough. That ain't enough. A woman that loves to clean, that loves to cook, she has a nurturing vibe to her. So you buy a house, you put her in the house, she'll literally make the house a home. You'll have your space, but she'll know what to do. Men ignore this, get with the woman, and then they're tired of it. Well, you signed up for it. If you paid attention to this in the beginning, you would know that you weren't compatible and you weren't a good fit. Never ignore this stuff. Number 3, if she talks about certain men that have given her experiences, ask yourself, why isn't she still with this guy? Why isn't she still with this guy? because she will use this to make you jealous. I.e., I've dated an NFL player before. I've dated an NBA player before. I've dated a guy who made this amount of money. I dated this guy who did this with sports cars. I've did this guy who was a luxury whatever. I've done this with a rapper. I've done this with a director, whatever. When they're saying this, you have to ask yourself, why are you not still with this guy? It's the same as when women say, well, I have a ton of options and guys want me and guys send me money and guys do this. Well, why aren't you with any of these guys? Why? See, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because a lot of men will be pressured into thinking, well, she's dealt with this type of guy before. I have to live up to these certain standards and expectations. That's not true. What you really need to ask yourself is, then how you fucking with me? How are you messing with me if you messed with them and I'm not on their level? Because she wants you to think that you need to rise up to her exes and her past experiences. She thinks that you need to rise up to the occasion. Those previous experiences that certain dudes gave to her, you need to do the same thing, if not that, better. No, why are you here? Most importantly, why aren't you with those guys if they were so good? Don't ever let them use other dudes that they've been with to make you jealous and make you try to rise to the occasion and do for her. No. That's a huge red flag. Big mistake, because once you start, you can't stop, because women don't go backwards. They want to keep going forward. But that's funny. That's why you should pay attention to the past, because they're worried about you going forward. We need to see your track record. We need to investigate. We need to listen before we commit, before we give out commitment. Remember, the vetting process is very important. Number 4, talking negatively about exes nonstop. She's never been in a good situation. You have to think to yourself, most guys are nice guys, so you just must like to be treated this way. See, a woman that holds herself in high regard, she has respect for herself and others. You will notice that women who are good picks don't talk trash about their exes. Things ended mutually, or I had to go do my thing, he had to go do his thing. I put up with a lot, but at the end of the day, I was good to him. He put up with a lot. At the end of the day, I know I was overbearing, but things worked out for the most part. We were high school sweethearts, whatever. Things just didn't work out. I wish him the best, though. There's no ill will. There's no ill intention towards that guy. But a lot of these women that are just mean, they're not right in the head. They won't let things go. They will be bitter towards a situation and let you know that every relationship that they've been in has been with a guy that was toxic, that's been with the guy that didn't appreciate them, that's been with the guy that they had to pay for everything, that's been with the guy that, just wanted her for sex and then discarded of her, that made her compete over other women. See, this is what they're attracted to. That's what lets you know that's what women are attracted to, because they all have the same song and dance. If you ever pay attention to this, because check this out, most men are nice. Why do you think they don't meet guys that really give them that feeling like that? Because most dudes go and operate off the same playbook, the same strategy of being nice, of being in the friend zone, of being attentive, trying to show her he's the best guy for her and the best selection. But that's not what works. It's not what works. It's more so with your actions and behaviors. But when guys act like that, it's kind of like, well, I don't want these guys like that. So they go for guys that are indifferent to them. And see, it's a roll of the dice, but you see this a lot of the times, it doesn't go in their favor. They like to be in relationships with men when it feels like the man is here and she's here. That indifference has that dynamic happening. But still, a woman would not talk bad about a dude and dude number 1, dude number 2, dude number 3. If she had self-respect and respect for that guy, she would just frame it as things didn't work out. But when a woman is letting you know that in her past relationships, trauma, abuse, weak foundations, if she's letting you know that, she's letting you know that she has a bad track record of relationships. And it's not on the men. Don't ever do that. See, this is what dudes do when they white knight and they simp and they cape for women. They will think to themselves, well, she's so great. How could all these guys treat her that way? It's not that all the guys treated her that way. She allowed them to treat her that way. Number 5, if she believes that all men are like that, that again lets you know her type. Most guys will try to raise a woman up, will try to raise her interest, will try to make her see the silver lining, will try to get through to her that they can make things work for the long haul. This is why I tell guys, don't simp, don't act that way, because most guys, once they start feeling a woman, they start simping. They start feeling emotionally attached to a woman. Sleep with her a couple times. It's like guys need to be grateful and say, hey, thanks for the vagina, put it in their pocket. and go on about their business. When she slows down with the communication, she doesn't really want to be around, when she finds herself being more busy, and then you're feeling some type of way, you should be like, thanks for the time and the energy that we exchanged. Most guys are like, damn, that's messed up. I want to keep getting at her. I want to keep spending time with her. I want to cuddle with her. I want to roll over in the flowers with her. I want to be in the bed with her. I want to do this. It's like, no. So if we know that most men operate like that, how can you get off saying that most men are like this? Most men are cheaters. Most men are dogs. If she ever has that type of rhetoric, that type of language, what you need to understand is, once again, she's letting you know that in her past, these were the type of guys that she pursued. Now, does she deserve commitment? I'm not saying that she doesn't, but just not from you. If you think that you're worth something, if you built your life up to be a certain type of way, you do not need to give it away to a woman that's wasted her time giving herself to dudes who didn't appreciate her. Make it make sense. Number 6, if she hasn't put in effort for anyone and prides herself off of it. Huge red flag. Because real women pride themselves off of cooking, cleaning, bringing people together. They really pride themselves off of that. So if you're dealing with a woman who doesn't have that bone in her body, doesn't know how to be feminine, doesn't know how to be nice, doesn't know how to have that bubbly energy, don't deal with it. That's ignoring her past because it's worked before. Check this out. The reason why this is going in here too is because a lot of men are used to women being standoffish and then chasing after them. This is why women get upset when you don't chase after them, when they're playing hard to get, when they're acting standoffish. See, that sets the dynamic of, he will do as I say because he's leading off of my actions. My actions trigger a reaction. So whenever I act like this, he reacts like this. He's getting used to that. That sets up patterns. Then you get into a relationship with this woman, and anytime something doesn't go her way, guess what action she's going to take in order to get a reaction out of you? And when this works, they pride themselves on it. Remember the energy boost, guys. So the next guy she moves on to, he accepts it. Energy boost. The next guy, he accepts it. Energy boost. The next guy, he accepts it. Energy boost. Gets to you. Get it out of here. Power down. That's where that kicking and screaming comes from. That's where that shaming and belittling comes from. But you need to realize this. It all starts from the guys who do accept it. See, when we tell the truth about women, we need to be honest about a lot of men out here. How do women come to thinking the way they think? By what works and what doesn't work. That's just human nature. What works and what doesn't work. You understand everything better. You search for answers. You create a better strategy. Women are stuck on the strategy that they're stuck on because it works. Time and time again, it works. If she prides herself off of not putting in effort, off of men have to do everything, this is not a good candidate for somebody that you want to be your girl. You want a woman that's going to go the extra mile for you. Right now, let's say, I know this is an extreme measure, an example. Let's say you got locked up. You're in a situation where the cops got you and your bail is set at whatever. Yeah, you could tell her to grab your credit card, but if you call her, wouldn't you want her to be like, babe, I'm coming right now. I'm grabbing my purse. Babe, I'm coming to get you right now. How much is it? I'm coming right now. You could give her your card, but she's more concerned with getting out of the door to get you home. A woman that has your back, a woman that's not trying to take advantage of you. See, dudes are always thinking that you have to be a provider guy. Now, I'm not saying that that's not true. But it feels good when a woman's willing to do for you. Going out shopping, making something special just for you. You might see a shirt and you're in a rush. You're like, damn, that shirt is cool. Or you see some commercial. You're like, that's cool. Next thing you know, she pops up on you and she brings it to you. And you're like, oh my, babe, for real? She's like, yeah, I saw you looking at it. I know you liked it. That's a good feeling. And in turn, you spend on her and in turn, you do things for her. But a lot of these guys are out here thinking like you got to spend money on a woman 24/7. If she looks expensive, she looks expensive. That's where the shit stops. And a lot of these dudes don't have the money like that. They don't have the money like that. And then the dudes that do have the money like that take a big L a lot of the times. So remember, if she prides herself on that, get it out of here. Number 7, not caring about sex and her past partners and the body count. See, that's one thing when you're trying to get sexual with the woman. I like sex. She likes sex. She's experienced. Let's do this thing. But see, sex has nothing to do with the relationship sticking together when things are going bad. When things start to happen and you really need that support. Sex don't really have nothing to do with any of that. Yes, it holds things together, but it doesn't have anything to do with when times get hard. Guys slip up and fall for that. So when you chasing the sex and the sex and the sex, and you're like, everything was going good, but you felt like you weren't that heard. You weren't that seen. You were just there. You were there to pay a bill. You were there to be the man around, but you weren't really getting the respect. See, that happens because you ignored that stuff. You ignored that stuff. So she's able to leverage her sexuality in the situation. Nobody's saying that you shouldn't go after a woman that has experience. That's not what I'm saying. But in most cases, guys don't like women that have a lot of experience. They want to give them the experiences. So just know this, when you ignore a woman being super sexual, and you could tell by the way she dresses, by the people that she hangs around, her social media presence, all you need to know is that, yes, you can sleep with her, but this doesn't deserve to be your girl. This doesn't. And in fact, if you ever see a woman and she has no pictures on her profile, but she's got a couple followers, maybe have 1 to 2 pictures. One is a book entry. She has a book open. It shows that she's reading it. She might have a quote from the book. Another is a picture of herself dressed like a kept woman, not dressed like a thought. Guarantee you 9 times out of 10, she has somebody that she's with that she respects. When there's no pictures there, only little circles of, events throughout her life that they keep on Instagram, she's with a man that she respects. It could be a social media break, but in a lot of these cases, she's with a man that she respects. Get it out of here. When you have a woman with a social media presence and she's got her ass out and she's shaking it and she's drinking and she's driving a boat, people are grabbing the back of her neck, grabbing her ponytail and pouring shots down her throat. It's not appealing. It's not wifey energy. It's not appealing. Those same women, guys will look at it and say, damn, that's wifey, son. That's wifey, dog. That's wifey. It's not wifey. It's infatuation. Remember that. Don't ignore that type of stuff, because when you make her your girl, she's going to think, well, he accepted me this way that I am now. Now he's trying to come in here and change what I do. That's not how things operate, because he should have stated that at the beginning. You see, when women are testing your manhood, some of the times it's nonsense. Some of the times it's them being irrational, but a lot of the times it's them being logical. You accepted this from me. You accepted me the way I am. You took me in with open arms. Now you're trying to change the way I am? Absolutely not. And they have every right to act that way. They have every right to say those things, because at the end of the day, they're right. So cut it off at the beginning. Don't even get involved in the beginning. Number 8, you can't undo what's already been done. See, most dudes think that I can change her. Don't save her. She don't want to be saved. A lot of dudes like to save women. She's just going through a hard time. This had went on, this had went on, this had happened to her. It's not really her fault. Listen, bro, we're all adults. We're all adults. And even when dudes say that, you're really admitting that women need men, but not in the way that you think. And you're being manipulated. There's nothing wrong with helping a woman out. That's your woman, but a woman that's proving that she's literally for you. In a lot of these cases, a woman is putting in minimal effort, and then the guy jumps out of the window. He's helping her. He's supporting her. He's putting her up to a higher level, to raise to his level. But really, she doesn't even deserve it, because once she gets to his level, and she's out of there, and she's on to the next, because the guy didn't vet properly, not paying attention to the past, not paying attention to her actions. Her intentions show through her actions. It's just like in the beginning. I don't do this. I'm not going to grab a coffee with you. What the hell's wrong with you? I'm not taking a walk with you. We see your intentions. See, your intentions isn't about getting to know each other. Your intentions is to make everything rush along. What can you do for me, sir? And when it's like that, what you need to take away from that is that she ain't really feeling me the way I thought she was. So let me get out of this situation before it's too late. Remember that you can always back out of a situation before it's too late. Most men think things will get better. It doesn't get better. You don't need to save her. What's done is done. She can be a person that's learned from her past mistakes. She can be a person that's grown to be a better person. But when a woman is bringing all of this stuff to you, making it seem like she's been dealt a bad hand, I'd like to think that most men have been dealt a bad hand, but they still made a way. They still tried to do the best they could. They still became a man. A lot of men are still working through the process and are getting to where they want to be. This is a human nature thing. So don't ever think to yourself, oh, she's been dealt a bad hand, like I need to feel sorry for her. No, you can elevate her. Knock off all the emotional nonsense, because you will be able to be manipulated. What's done cannot be undone. You need to pay attention to a woman's track record. You need to pay attention to her actions and behaviors and her tendencies. Don't pay attention to the words so much. Men always trust in the words, and it gets them nowhere. I read the message in the beginning of the video. Down $250,000 from listening to words and not actions and tendencies. Because check this out, with the actions and tendencies, let's go back to this. You're going to always understand why I do my videos like this, because I'm threading the needle. If a woman bigs herself up on not putting in any effort for a man, that can't be a woman that you commit to, because naturally when women invest in men, they don't want to lose. So they make sure they do everything to be on their best behavior. They make sure that they're putting in that glue to hold the relationship together, because if you lose, she loses, because she invested. Remember that when women are bringing things to you, when women are cooking things for you, when women are even driving to see you, burning their gas, it's showing that little investment all the time that she wants this thing to stick together. You're driving to her all the time. You're spending your money all the time. You're setting things up all the time. You're the one being attentive all the time. There's nothing for her to invest. And that's how patterns start. You need to understand patterns. You need to understand the vetting process. Never ignore these things, brother. Never ignore these things. There's plenty of men that are with women till this day that respect them, love, and admire them. And you can always see it when you're around a guy who a woman loves and admires, respects him. It's just a certain way they move together. They mesh well. The guy is just a man's man. You understand it clearly. When you understand this, you will never be taken advantage of again. That message gave me the motivation to make this video, because I'm sick and tired of seeing men being taken advantage of. But at the same time, I'm sick and tired of them just playing dumb, because it's their fault at the end of the day. Let's man up. Let's rise to the occasion. If you don't want to date, you don't have to date out here. If you do want to date, there's a certain way that you need to go about it. Sex is one thing, commitment and relationships are another thing. So this was why men should never ignore a woman's past in modern dating. Hope you guys got a lot out of it. It's your boy Josten J. Get with you boys in the next video. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's go, boys. Let's go.